A First Nations housing conference is now underway in Thunder Bay, continuing its legacy of improving the lives of those in remote communities.
The 21st annual event features a diverse program of workshops and training sessions. Josh Moreno was there.
The First Nation Housing Conference has played an essential role in addressing the housing challenges faced by First Nation communities throughout Canada. The conference runs 3 days, with day one featuring the opening ceremonies. Committee member Jonathan Gregg says this event is crucial to bringing much-needed housing to remote communities because it delivers insight to the challenges they face, and he says it will hopefully teach them how to build on their own as a community.
A lot of times our First Nations are bringing outside skilled labor into the community to build their houses. And with that, we need to start working towards to reduce some of that outside, not because of the great support that comes from there, but just so that we can start building an economic basin within our own communities and start to have that sense of pride that we're building our own homes.
Lisa McLeod is with the Lakehead Public Schools, and she works with a program called the KZ Lodge. The program helps connect Indigenous youth with the land and the culture. McLeod says they've recently expanded and offer a program related to housing called the Indigenous Skills Training Program. The tiny home was built by the Indigenous youth at Hammersholt, and it was brought to the Valhalla for this event. McLeod says this class has helped the youth develop a new love for wanting to go to school and get an education.
They're amazing students. The program is going very well. They're engaged, they're attending school. They are from the communities, and they have their struggles, but the program is changing their lives for the better.
While education for the youth and bringing skills trades into communities was at the top of the agenda, Gregg says funding is what makes the entire dream possible. Minister of Indigenous Services Patty Hajdu was not at the conference Tuesday, but announced at last year's federal budget an additional $2.4 billion over 5 years to support First Nation housing projects on reserves.
Any kind of funding for housing is much needed, especially when it talks about housing manager and developing those skills, and anything related to adding more housing dollars, more infrastructure. The challenge is just the farther you're away from a major city, it's just harder to work, and infrastructure is just starting to become to an end of its life in a lot of our First Nations.
The event continues over the next couple of days, highlighted by the Builders Challenge on Wednesday, before closing ceremonies wrap things up Thursday afternoon. Josh Moreno, TBT News.